Well, it's your money, and the fine folks at Evans Financial want to help you make the most of it. Today, we're talking retirement, and Colin Evans, RFC, back with us here today. And we're talking about a retirement checklist, things that you need to make sure that you have in order before you do decide to call it quits.
We do. We put together like a top 10 list. So we're going to kind of fly through this really quickly, but we've also got a takeaway for our viewers where they can actually print out on their home computer or download on their tablet or device. So
a little homework.
Yes, so they can do their homework so they actually get a little bit more details. So, all right, so this is kind of our top 10 as you're heading into retirement.
Drum roll.
I know, right? Number one, assess that retirement income need. What we mean by that is let's time to estimate what needs are we going to have for retirement. What are things we want to plan on doing, and is that travel? Are we going to have hobbies? Those things are things that we need to look at. Now we want to go into evaluating our savings and retirement. This is where it's going to be time to look at those 401ks, those IRAs. What assets have we saved up for? What are we getting ready to strategize? Number three, it might be time to look at maximizing contributions. This is a great time to make sure that you're socking as much as possible away before you pull the plug and it is time to go to the golden years of retirement. Number four, develop a withdrawal strategy. We're very, very big proponents on putting together an actual true income plan. This actually really puts a lot of worries and fears at rest for people when they go into it, because you're going into really an unknown time and kind of really putting a strategy in place with what is that income going to look like and what is it actually going to be. Number five, pay off debt.
It's a big one.
This is a big one, especially those high interest rates, those credit cards, things like that. Sometimes it's beneficial to pay off the mortgage, sometimes it's not. So that is something to visit with an advisor to make sure what you're going to do. And what we've seen, what's funny is one of the things on a side note is we've seen people go into retirement and say, you know what, I need to go ahead and take it out of my IRA or my 401k to pay off the mortgage. No. You might not do that because it could really boost you into a different tax bracket and you get taxed at a higher rate than you actually might not need to be. So let's go into number six. Make sure you're considering those healthcare costs. That's a big deal when you go into the retirement time, because one of the rules of thumb is about 3 years of your last year's income in working years is going to kind of be a gauge of what your healthcare expenses will be in retirement. So if you're making 60 grand a year and you retire, you can plan on about $180,000 throughout the retirement time of this is what I'm going to need to have for healthcare. Take a look at and also plan for the possibilities of long-term care. That is a very big one that not a lot of people plan for. Is like, hey, I might have to go into a home.
Right, you don't want to, but it is.
You don't want, you don't want to. Of course, everybody wants to stay in their house, but or the other flip side of that is, what if we have to bring somebody into the home and you get the opportunity to stay there? So that's also a blessing, but that is something to pay attention to. Number eight, review estate planning documents. I mean, your wills, your trusts, and again, in all your financial documents as well, is double checking beneficiaries. A lot of times we'll see people that might just have one beneficiary listed and not really revisit that, and might not have paid attention to if something happened to that beneficiary and never made a change, and then something happens to them, then it kind of goes to the estate, and we have to figure out what goes with those assets. And you really want the state of Louisiana saying where your money goes when you pass away. That's not something I would want with mine.
No.
Number nine, decide on that retirement lifestyle. What do you mean by that? What are your plans? Are you going to have some goals? Mine's travel. It always is. I like to do it right now. And if that's a big one for you, you need to make sure you're prepared for that. And the last one is do a test run. Actually, if you're going to budget for retirement time frame, it's not a bad idea to try and live on that same type of budget. And it's like, hey, this is we're just doing a practice run. Hey, are we going to be okay? Is it time for us? And that's just giving you a really good gauge. And then right as we top this off, one of our bonuses, we just finished putting this together, and it went live when I was on the drive here. I got the text that, okay, we're good to go. So we put this together to where actually any of the viewers today can download this. Go to retirementatrisk.com and you can download this right now, which will go over this top 10 list, and we'll give you actually a lot more detail in depth on all the things that we just discussed that you can pay attention to. Download it, go to your device, your Kindle, your smartphone, your desktop, print it out, but retirementatrisk.com, and you can download it right now.
All right, so you have your homework assignment. This has been Colin Evans with Your Money. Let's go to Patrick.